Hi, first grade. Did you think you were getting Annie and Moby? Psych! It's just me, Mrs. Katzenberger, but it's really good to see you. And we're still going to have a lot of fun learning about something new today. This is your first math lesson for the week of May 18th, and we're going to start learning about telling time. Now, a million years ago, all the way back in January, we learned about measuring in math. We learned about the different tools that we can use to measure. You can use rulers, you can use yardsticks. You might remember that we used things like cubes and paper clips. And we also learned about expressing what we measured in units. For instance, we never said something was 3 long. We said it was 3 cubes long or 5 paper clips long. Time is something that we can measure as well, but that's going to look a little bit different. Now, here are some tools that you may recognize. These are tools that we can use to measure time. So up here we have a calendar. We use calendars to measure really long periods of time, days, weeks, and months. Over here I have an hourglass. Sometimes it's a minute timer. If you're playing a game, for example, and you only have a specific amount of time to do something, you could use a tool like this. Over here, I have a stopwatch. That's a tool that you could use to measure how long it takes you to do something. Down here, I have a kitchen timer. If something has to be done, it takes a certain amount of time, you use this tool to measure that amount of time. Here I have a digital clock. There are lots of these around our homes. If you have an alarm clock, it might look like this. Maybe the clock on your microwave or stove looks like this. The clock on your tablet, mom and dad's phone. We see digital clocks a lot of different places. Here's a different clock that you're actually going to be learning about in your next lesson with Mrs. Engel. This is called an analog clock. And of course, some people wear tools on their body to tell time, like a watch. And just like we used units when we described something that we had measured in January, there are also units that we talk about when we talk about time. So the first unit that we're going to talk about is a minute. You probably already know that a minute is 60 seconds. It's not a very long unit of time. It usually takes, counting to 60, for you to have measured 1 minute. So what are some things that you think you can do in 1 minute? You could make your bed in a minute. You could tie your shoes in about a minute. And doing a really good job of washing and drying your hands, that takes about a minute, maybe a little bit less. Now, a longer unit of time is an hour. An hour is 60 minutes, so that's a much longer unit of time. So since it's a longer unit of time, what are some things that you think you can do in an hour? You could take a walk around your neighborhood. Maybe you could help clean up around the house. You could pick up your toys. It would make your mom really happy. One last thing that might take an hour is helping mom cook dinner. So now that we've talked about some units of time, we're going to spend the rest of this lesson talking about how we show those units of time using tools. And the tool that we're going to learn about is a digital clock. I have a picture of it right down here, and you saw it just a little bit ago in an earlier slide. Digital clocks are clocks that show time using only numbers. So on a digital clock, the first number that you always see is the hour. So on this particular example, the hour on the digital clock is 12. The next number will represent the amount of minutes that have gone by since that hour started. So on this clock, 34 minutes have gone by since the hour of 12 began. And the last special feature of a digital clock that separates your hour and your minutes is this little colon right here. So let's look at the time represented on this digital clock together. So remember, we're going to say the hour first. That's the first number that's shown on a digital clock. So the hour is 1. Now the next number that's shown, that represents the minutes. And I see 2 zeros. No minutes have gone by since the hour of 1 has started. So we simply read this as 1 o'clock. If I wanted to write it with words, this is what it would look like. 1 o'clock. Fun fact, we say o'clock because a long time ago when people used lots of different ways to tell time, sometimes they used clocks or hourglasses, sometimes they even used the position of the sun in the sky to tell somebody what time it was. If somebody told you o'clock, that means of the clock. That was their way of telling you, I measured this time using a clock. And since that's the tool that we use nowadays, we always say 1 o'clock. So what about the time that we're showing here? Again, we're always going to start with the hour because that's the first number that's represented. Our hour is 8. And these 2 zeros here tell me that no minutes have gone by since the hour of 8 has started. So we're just going to say 8 o'clock. So now might be a really good time for you to practice writing some of these times using words as well. So if you need to, pause the video, grab a piece of paper, a whiteboard, anything that's close by so that you can practice writing too. And remember, we're always going to start with the hour and then follow it with the minutes. So practice writing down the time using words that I'm showing on my digital clock. Did you write down 4 o'clock? Of course you did. Did you spell the number 4 correctly? I know you did because I know you watched those Letterland videos from last week. So this clock is showing 4 o'clock. What about this guy that I have right here? Go ahead and pause the video and write with words the time that I am showing on my digital clock. Did you write down 11 o'clock? Of course you did, because you're a genius, right? Right, but don't tell anybody. Okay, one last one to practice. So go ahead, hit pause. Did you hit pause? If you did, then write down the time. Did you do it? Then, after you write, you can hit play. And did you write down 6 o'clock? You did. You're amazing. Congratulations. So let's end our lesson by writing time the way that we would see it on a digital clock. So my hour comes first, and that says 7. So easy peasy. All I need to do is write the number 7. Now hopefully you remember that on a digital clock, we separate our hour and our minutes with that little sign, those 2 dots there that we call a colon. And since I don't see any other minutes, number words in these words, it just says 7 o'clock. That tells me that no minutes have gone by since 7 o'clock started. So we're going to finish up with those 2 zeros. And that's how I would show 7 o'clock on a digital clock. All right, what about this one? Why don't you go ahead and pause the video. And if you pause the video, you can write down your hour, your colon, and your minutes. Let's pause. And then when you're ready to click play. Well, very well done, boys and girls. That is how 3 o'clock is shown on a digital clock. Bravo! Last one. No more shenanigans. Go ahead and push the pause button and show me the way that this time would look on a digital clock. And I know you all wrote down that the hour is 5, and then you drew an amazing, beautiful colon to separate the hour of 5 with the minutes that have gone by, which are 0, because all I see is o'clock. You are to be commended. Well, now that we have practiced together, it's time to head over to Seesaw. Practice just a little bit more so that you can show your teacher everything that you've learned today with Mrs. Katzenberger. Have a stupendous week, and I cannot wait to see you again next week. Adios.